welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Following a loaded Monday morning news,
Holy moly.
there wasn't a bunch of news, but there was plenty to talk about. I think
Didn't stop us from talking.
No, we went almost an hour and a half, just between talking the limited amount of news, but also then Walkabout Mini Golf, Guardian Frontlines, our new sponsor Mindway, which you'll hear the debut ad read of later this episode too.
Today.
I'm so excited about them, but that's all on Monday. If you didn't listen, go check it out. But today we're talking about the Light Brigade, a new VR roguelite shooter that popped up. You hear me like throwing in as many adjectives as I can in there. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe that in one shot as I can, but it just came out on the MetaQuest store on February 22nd, 2023. So part of this class of 2023 games that's just kicking ass. Barbaria, Drop Dead, The Cabin, now the Light Brigade, Per Asperia. There's no shortage of great stuff in 2023. And part of that list is definitely the Light Brigade. It's made by developers Funktronic Labs.
Love the name.
Yeah. There's something about that you just know that they're cool people.
Yeah.
Funktronic.
Picture the cool background music.
Yeah. They have a really cool,
bell bottoms in the words.
really cool company logo and stuff too. So,
Funktronic Labs.
Yeah, really cool people. Developed and published by them. And, we're going to be reviewing the MetaQuest version. That's definitely what we specialize in. No PSVR for us, but there is a Steam version. And there is a PlayStation VR 2 version of this game as well.
Which is cool.
So if you play on those consoles, you have that option as well. My understanding is that they're starting to pump out some updates for the game, kind of more optimizing towards, taking advantage of some of the stuff that the PSVR 2 offers as well. So that's really cool. But again, our experience is based off of the version on the MetaQuest store, which we're always a little skeptical going into roguelites. Not roguelike, a roguelite. Because, I don't know about you, I tend to like campaign or co-op in general. I like a good incentive to keep playing. And in roguelites, it's like every time you die, you restart from the beginning. But, like all roguelites, you have small little upgrades and stuff you can do, which we'll break down a little bit more. But to me, usually I need something a little bit more to keep me playing in the game. But this is one of those roguelites that seems to be the exception to that rule.
Yeah, I'll go into it with full admit. I'd probably say it every time we do this genre.
Roguelite, yeah.
Not my favorite genre, but what I am liking is there don't seem to be any shortage of them being made.
No.
And when you can do them and bring something new to the table, so it's not so,
repetitive.
Rinse, wash, repeat, wash, repeat. Because that was my fear with this one. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can do another one of these.
No,
it seems like,
the trailer didn't capture us. The trailer just looked like just another shooter, to be honest with you, with some praying religious vibes to it as well.
I was playing the other, and we'll explain what that's about later, but just for mental image, I'm playing the other night, and Tracy she goes, "Are you praying?" Because literally within 15 minutes, I've put my hands together in a praying way.
Well, and I know the way you and I both play, so you're not going to just touch your hands together. You're going to go full character in.
I do with the controller in
probably
the hand.
Probably have your head down too.
I think I even did some weird ohm thing on one of them. But then she finally asked, she goes, "Do you pray in that game?" And I'm like, "You do."
Yep.
She goes, essential. "Why?" I go, to save souls and open doors. She's like, "Okay." And then I usually have to show her because I used to cast it, but I don't have the Chromecast, so was using a third-party app that all of a sudden now they'll let you cast 30 seconds, and then they're like, "No, you have to pay for it."
Oh wow!
But it's a crappy app, so
you just need a Chromecast.
Yeah, I just need it, or I guess I could stream it right to the computer per se. But yeah, no, she used to love watching me play, especially when, like you said, we're very animated with the gesture. If there's a game you bow in, don't think I'm not really bowing as much as I can.
I'll use Dragon Fist VR as a good example.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not doing the bare minimum. I'm going full immersed in character.
That is one I wish that we had live recordings of us playing it, not just playing the game, but actually seeing us play it, because it would probably look better than anything we were doing in the game.
Yeah, 100%. I have a feeling a lot of people play that game like that.
Although, remember what we learned from the developer or creator of Unplugged.
Yeah, how you think you're playing and looking.
How you really look is two different worlds.
So you might think that you're being very animated, but the reality is you might not actually be.
scary if people are like, nah, you look totally normal.
Yeah,
like don't say that.
What? But so this game, I kind of mentioned there's like a little religious theme. Right when you load in, they kind of give you some lore of the game.
Did you do the stars? Not to cut you off, but did you give the ratings?
No. Thank you.
And then you can turn loose.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So we did go over that. It came out February 22nd. It's made by Funktronic Labs.
It's 1.6 gig.
Yeah, 1.6 gig. It's described on this store as a hardcore roguelite, which I think is a fitting description.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it's a 4.6 overall on the official MetaQuest store with already 361 total ratings and 248 written reviews.
Check this out. From the time you looked at it, which was today.
20 minutes ago.
I got 362, 249.
So it went up one.
Went on one on each.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I mean, the numbers are pretty damn good for a game that just came out.
Yeah, and this was one that I was seeing everybody who played it go crazy about, and I was a little, kind of what we referenced before, skeptical. I said, another roguelite.
And then there was also, I think someone in our Discord who was like, it didn't really captivate me right away, but then
the second time I played it, it did.
Seemed to grow on me a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
And I had that same experience too. The first time I played it, the first night I left going, I'm going to have to push myself to go back in it the second time.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I mean, geez, we were supposed to pump out this review last week.
Yep.
And we said, executive decision. We got the letter from our producer, Reggie, said, hold the show 1 week.
Take a week off on that one.
Yeah, so we postponed that 1 week, and now it's obviously today. But
you know what did it for me is there's good upgrades that you definitely have to earn, and there's different classes.
Mm-hmm.
So they're smart in how they make it. So if you really want to get the most out of the game, no matter what, you're going to be in it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, so right when you hop in, they give you, like I said before, a little bit of the lore of the game where there's like a very big religious theme to the game. You have this central character in your main hub called the Mother, and she's kind of leading these, these soldiers.
Is she called the Mother, or do we call her the Mother? I think we call her.
I'm pretty sure her official label is Mother.
Okay, I just thought because that's what we had just started calling her organically.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, Mother doesn't like you if you shoot her in the face.
I killed her.
Yeah, she gets awfully pissed.
But she's a good shot.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so you load in and they give you a little bit of the lore, which I'll let you all experience. And they give you more of the lore in between loading screens too. Every loading screen will have like the original uprising was fought over the price of grain or whatever, and there's a lot of lore in the church and why this conflict is even going on. But basically there's these soldiers that are souls, the Light Brigade soldiers, and each run you're kind of like a new soldier, it seems, because when the developers post their stats, they're like, 150,000 soldiers lost. So I interpret it as each run you're an entirely new soul, Maybe I'm incorrect on that, but that's just how I interpret it.
You know what mine I loved from their description was
what?
The world's in like total darkness and you need to bring the dawn. I was like, that's, it doesn't necessarily sell the game, but I just thought it was a great line.
Yeah, no, definitely well written. And then when you first load in, you're this class called a rifleman, and they'll teach you kind of, how to play, but it's definitely like all roguelites, hard your first run. Like, oh my God, you don't make it far at all. When you're actually in a run, well, actually, let me go back. You have a main area that there's not much in when you first start. You really only have the Mother. And as you play through the game more, eventually you'll
get... The Mother and the gun guy.
Yeah, you'll have
you have to collect your weapon from.
Yeah, you'll have the Mother in the church. Then you go out of the church, and there's a guy who has the weapon specific for your class and enough ammo to load up. Each class has a different combo of weapons. You always have like a main weapon and a sub weapon. And then you have like weapon pouches. So you'll have an ammo pouch that can hold a finite amount of ammo, and each gun has different type of ammo. And then each class also has different amount of like item patches you'll have in the front too, besides the ammo, which you can hold like health upgrades, increase your max health, restore your health, grenades, field decoys. So like
I use those more often when I get them now.
With the decoys?
Yeah,
that's
before
one
I would like. To me, it was a space hog, so I was like, I'm not going to use that. But now I'm like, these things really work.
Yeah, and well, it's also depending on what class you have, and If I only have 2 pouches, those are both going to be health items for me. But I got 4 pouches. Yeah, I might throw a field grenade or field decoy and a grenade in there. But also in your main area, not to start, but down the line, you'll also unlock like a blacksmith dude that you can upgrade your class that you're in by leveling it up, which you do in the run. We'll get to that. And then you also get like an item dude to pre-buy some items.
Which I never do.
No, because you don't have much money. You only have like 100 gold to start. All the good stuff, all the good items cost more than that. And you'll find this item dude. His name's Jude. So I would say, hey, Jude, like the song, So I even wondered if that's why they named him Jude, So you'll see him throughout the run too. So it's like, I'll encounter him when I have more money. But later in the game, he will be in your main area. And then from there, then you have this area where you actually start your run. So just like you referenced, what do you pray for? To get to heal people and open doors. So you open the door by praying, and then it loads you into the run. And each run, like all roguelites, a little bit random in terms of where the enemies are going to be, where the items are going to be. But each room you go into, there's a stage that you can clear. And inside that stage, there's enemies that pretty freaking good aim on these people. Be careful the first time you play. You're going to go walking out into the public and they get lit up 3 times and die right away. But there's enemies. There's items to destroy, which inside the items, there might be gold. There might be more ammo. It could be a wide variety of things. And then each enemy that you kill, you get souls for killing them. So like, these souls are how you level up too. And it's kind of complicated because like at the end of the stage, you can turn in your souls, but it's every other stage. So you clear the first stage. If you died in that first stage, boom, you don't get any points for your run. But then, the second level, then you can turn in souls. Your third level, you can't. Your fourth level, you can, but whatever. And the souls are how you level up your character level. So, it might be 1,000 souls to level up to level 2, then level 3, 2,000 souls, whatever. So the souls are essential to collect, but also in killing people, sometimes they also drop ammo.
Which is crucial.
Yeah.
And but they give you, they're good with the amount of boxes and vases that you can smash open.
My first couple of runs, I wasn't really looking for those at all. And by the third run, dude, I spent so much time on every level. Like, it already said stage cleared. Everybody's dead. I can move on. But like, I'm giving this thing a triple check.
Sure, yeah, you want to get anything. Because also, like, what's really cool is like you'll see the little soul balls on your right wrist, and on your left wrist you'll see like whatever tarot cards, because they have the tarot card boxes you can pick up, which give you special buffs and stuff.
You can see that there's so much to describe in this game. Yeah, besides there just being regular box, then you have like a chest that has like yellow lights coming up in it. And you
signify something good's in there.
Yeah, the first time I played this game, I already knew to go to that. I was like, I'm opening up whatever the hell that is.
And it even makes that cool little sound, like the little chingling sound. So you can, if you don't necessarily see that glow coming off it, you can definitely hear it, work your way over to it.
And when you open those, like you said, these 3 tarot cards come up, and you pick which one of the 3 you want. It could be anything like delay the enemy aim by 250 milliseconds. It could be do extra damage, ignore damage. There's a wide variety of gameplay element changing things that can affect.
And I said it when we were party chatting one night playing it. I mean, I totally kind of have a grasp after playing it for 2 weeks straight, hardcore, like what these cards do. From the get-go, I was just picking ones that sounded cool, sounded like it might do something, whereas now I have a much better grasp. But I wish there was just like a main sheet to say, hey, here's every tarot card that's there. Here's what each one specifically does. Like the one that reduces the aim, even though it's a millisecond, shit adds up in the harder levels for sure.
Hell yeah.
So that's a go-to. There's other ones that like 5 or 10%, if you get the enemy down to, it's an instant death for them. So you don't have to like waste bullets getting them on the last ones. That's a crucial one. But I love that you can see your little cards floating around your wrist.
And the cards are active for the whole run until you die. And then obviously, like all roguelites, you die.
No, you will die.
Yeah, when you die, all of the perks and stuff that you picked up throughout your run
died with you.
You die over with you. So yeah, you go into an area, you clear all the enemies in there, search for some different chests and stuff. And then when you're ready to move to the next stage, it'll tell you area clear. That's how you know everybody's dead.
And how good does that sound?
Oh,
when you're
on the other end, how about when you killed like 5 people and you don't get the message?
Yeah.
Dude, so it can be your best friend, and also sometimes you're waiting for that thing, like, where is it? How many people are here? So then you clear the level by, by praying to open up the door, and then it opens the next one. And like I said, every second level, you get an opportunity to turn in your souls. So
you put your hand on some
pedestal
looking thing, and it'll collect the soul.
So how much does it suck dying on the odd floors? Like 3, 5, Well,
yeah, because you're screwed.
Mm-hmm. And every time you play it, like I said, it's a little random. So, example, there's different classes. We'll get into that a little bit more in a second, but the first level for different classes might be different. Some classes, it seems like they follow the same pattern, but some of the later classes, it seemed like the first couple missions were different than the first of the original classes, And
then as obviously you progress and unlock those other characters, the difficulty goes up.
That's how it seemed. Definitely. So,
but figure this out. Best guns at the end, hardest difficulty, not the greatest guns in the beginning, but easier difficulty. Like I went back to the rifleman. Man, that gun sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you've got it scoped out, you got a nice like sight on it. Other than that, it's just not my favorite.
And there's a difficulty in the game in the sense if you go to the settings, you can change it from like the typical to arcade, and they have a couple other like, smooth turn, snap turn, that type of, typical that should be in every game bare minimum.
Yeah, default options.
But definitely, I won't lie to you, like the first time we played, so I'm playing as a rifleman. I don't really know how to play too much yet. The game, a big highlight of it is the gun mechanics. The guns are really cool. It's fun to shoot them. The reloading mechanics are very realistic. You have to like pull the ammo from your pouch, and depending on what gun it is, like example, there's a pistol that you have to like open it up and then put the ammo in. There's some guns you can just drop the clip and re-click it in, but usually you have to do some sort of manipulating with the gun physically with your hand in order to reload it.
Yep.
So there's that aspect of it.
One button clip drop though.
Yeah. Boom. That's for the later guns, like the assault rifle and stuff. That's the money. That's the button to that.
Dude, if I have 3 rounds left in my clip, I fucking drop it on the floor, pick up a brand new clip.
I agree because nothing's worse than going into, especially if you have a gun that like isn't gonna kill somebody in 3 shots.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good luck.
So, in that case,
even
I
with
do that.
with the headshots, which it makes a cool, rewarding little ping sound when you do, but you're not taking them out in 3 shots.
So the gun mechanics of this game, I think, is a huge part of why people have loved it so much. It's very fun gunplay, but the first time I loaded in, and like I said, I go happy-o-lucky into that first area, and 3 different guys shoot me from 3 different directions. And when you die, you have kind of like 3 chances. You die, and then you're kind of in this like you're not dead, but you're kind of like a floating soul, but you can still shoot. You're weakened. But if you get over to your dead body and you pray, you rejoin back to your soul. And by default, you can do that twice. And then you die that 3rd time, game over.
You're dead.
But if you die in your soul form, like if you die and you die before you go back and revive your body, you die again, it's game over right away too. So it's not just one death over, but you don't want to be relying on those revives either. And there's like a finite end to the game too, but like the way the game goes is every X amount of stages. And as you reference, it gets harder as you advance through. You're going to have boss battles too. So good luck with those. Just when you think that you've gotten the grasp of the game and you're doing good, then you're going to encounter that first Iceman boss. And then you're going to be like, damn. But once you beat him once, then you'll feel good to, go further.
We make up the dumbest names for these.
The Iceman boss?
Iceman boss.
Anybody who's
Second
played will
boss,
know.
I call him the rat boss.
They will know what we mean, though, anybody who plays it. And if you don't know what we mean yet, when you play it, you're going to hit Iceman. You're going to go, there's Iceman, He has an actual name, but...
It's funny as how many times he kicked my ass, like the first time I came to him, and now I get to him and I'm like, he doesn't matter. He's insignificant, very easy to kill.
So yeah, expect that structure to go stage, boss, stage, boss, stage. That's kind of the way it goes to a finite end.
But not that easy for sure.
No, dude, it took. I haven't beaten a full run yet. I'll be fully transparent. I'm not the best at shooters and stuff. I like them. I have a lot of fun with them, but am I like the best competitive player? No, there's definitely players that do much better at this game than me. So I still haven't beaten it yet, and it's been 2 weeks. So I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. The individual stages themselves are hard. The bosses are hard.
Well, and some of the bosses, they actually throw a puzzle-esque type way that you have to beat it along with beating it. So it's like, ooh, I didn't expect that.
Well, it reminds me of like old school arcade games with boss battles in the sense that you have to remember a pattern and a sequence, and now's the optimum time to attack. Now I'm better off just waiting and hiding. You learn their rhythm to it, which is why it becomes easy to beat the Iceman down the line because I know what he's gonna do. I know where
Same
to go.
thing with the enemy. Like I know if it's a rifle guy, I just wait to hear the, and then I have a couple of seconds, and their reload is just as long as your reload. So if they run out of bullets, they have to reload as well. I learned that fighting Mother.
Yeah, I'll do that too. I'll hide behind a pillar and I hear 3 shots, boom, boom, boom. Now I know I have a couple shots before. Yeah, 100%. But you don't know that at first either.
It's also one of the oddly weird games that they give you the ability to like smooth walk and turn and all that, but they also teleport is defaulted in.
And you need to teleport.
Yeah, it's actually much more usable than I've used it in any other game.
No, because you'll use that teleport to go behind
Rocks,
obstacles.
trees.
Yeah, take cover. And you need to because there's times where I'll pop out somewhere and there's more enemies than I anticipated. And I go, nope, I'm going over there.
Well, then they throw curveballs at you by having like, not necessarily a teammate, but another, I'm guessing it's really another soldier,
Light Brigade guy
who's getting attacked. But, I see something out in my field of view, I kill it, So I'll shoot it a couple of times and then I'll realize it's got the green shield on it. And I'm like, oh shit, that's actually one of my guys. But I've killed a few of our own people.
Yeah, I did it last night. I was playing and just not even accidentally. I did it for fun. I won't lie. I said, hey, homie, what's up? He asked me for a health item. I only had one. I said, sorry, bro. Let me put you out of your misery. It was mad cold-blooded. But I got souls for it, too. It rewarded me. How messed up was that?
You can collect the soul after you're done killing.
Yeah, it was the one time I did. I wasn't proud of myself, but it was definitely funny. But you'll have these random encounters throughout a run that you can't guarantee you're always going to encounter either. But, like you said, you might have another soldier fighting. And afterwards, he might ask you for an item. There might be this like kind of donation.
I always donate.
And it says donate to other players. And I wonder how asynchronous this game is in the sense of like, if you donate to those items, is it affecting other people's...
That's why I always donate.
Runs?
I always give them my grenades.
I don't know, but like my brain's going, there might be some more potential here. And then you're going to see these like dead body souls floating. And it might say like Seamus the Generous, something like that. But sometimes it'll say what looks like a real player's username.
Yeah, I wondered that as well.
And I go, did somebody die here? Is this where they lost?
Is someone recovering my soul?
Yeah, so I don't know. I'd love to have these guys on for an interview because I have some questions with that stuff, but there's some cool stuff in that regard. But nonetheless, so yeah, you'll have like random encounters like a donation box or dead people to recover, whether NPCs or what seems like was a real player. Like I said, you might encounter Jude in between.
Dude, in your first level, you might pick up a gun attachment that's going to float you through the rest of the friggin' game.
The best gun attachment, in my opinion, because there's a couple of different ones that you can either buy from Jude or find off a dead body, a box, whatever. The scope. If I get a scope on my gun, I'm set.
The scope and charming, and I say charming, there's little charms that you can get that'll attach to all your weapons. Those are valuable as hell. I never had an appreciation. I just used them as decoration. I'm like, I don't care. But then you look at what they actually do and you're like, okay, that's why there's like 2 or 3 different front charms. There's the side gem you can get for your pistol or your...
And unfortunately, only good for that one run. So you die, it's all over, baby. Back to the start.
I had one run. My gun was souped up to the gills. I had great cards like +4 damage for every 1,000 souls you collect. So I'm like, I'm in it. It's just getting like progressively, you're going to get better and better naturally just because of that one card. And then I died and I was like, man, I'm not guaranteed I'm going to see that card this run. Yeah. And then when I see it, might be towards the end of my run. It's not going to be as valuable.
Yeah, no, they do a great. They might get a key that, let's say next time you bump into Jude, now he has 3 chests and you get to pick which one you want to open and get a tarot card from. So, man, where these guys are geniuses. You referenced like way at the start, but we didn't give the full layout of the game yet, so it was kind of hard to really go in depth with. So let's say you make it to the 2nd level. you turn in your souls. Now you're level 2. You make it to the next time you turn in. Boom, you level 4. Let's say you end that run, you die. You die against Iceman. You're level 4. Woo! Since you leveled up, now you have skill points to go spend at the blacksmith.
Not a lot.
No, you get 1 point per level. But the way it goes, every upgrade doesn't take 1 point. So every character, you can upgrade the guns they have. You can upgrade the amount of starting lives you have, the amount of starting money you have. You know, there's like 5 different stats on each class. But the first level might cost 1 point, then the second point, 2 points, then 3 points, you know? So think of that. To max out, to go from level 2 with a gun to level 3, that takes 3 levels, 3 level ups just to level that up. So
the gun upgrades are worth it.
You do significantly more damage, but so is having additional lives.
And your points that you earn don't carry over to another class. So if you've got points to spend as a rifleman and then you jump to the next class because you've reached level 5 and can now unlock that class, those points you've earned, you're back to 0.
Yeah.
But if you go back to that class and you didn't spend all of it, then you're fine.
Well, I was going to get into that. Now I was going to say, we're beyond them being smart with the upgrades and stuff. There's 5 total classes, right? 5 or 6. You have like the rifleman, you have the dual pistol guy, you have the assault,
militia.
So yeah, like 5 or 6 total classes. And where they're smart is, how do you unlock these classes? So example, to get the rifleman to the next class, you have to get at least level 5 in the rifleman. Then you unlock the next class. Then that class, you get level 5, you unlock the next class. Then level 5, you unlock the next class. So you have to play as the next class.
Except for to get the last class.
To get to the last class, you have to get to level 10 of the militia, which is a fun class to play as too. I actually really enjoyed it.
It's my favorite one.
I thought I was going to like the assault class more because it's like an assault gun. Come on. That's awesome for a game like this. But the militia has like a single shot rifle.
Reminds me of the FAL in Pop 1.
Yes. Oh yeah. It's accurate and it's decent power.
Dude, but once you upgrade it though, that's a brand new weapon.
Yeah.
And they change the look of the weapon every time you upgrade it too.
Well, beyond it being, in my opinion, one of the more efficient classes, then they make you get to level 10 with it. Yeah. So you upgrade, that's going to be
you're getting better with it.
Yeah. Come on.
I was not.
Come on.
I knew in my head what the last class was going to be, and we're obviously not going to spoil that. In their description and full disclosure, they say what those classes are, except for that last one. So
yeah.
I'll respect it. But if you've played enough shooters to know, you'll figure out there's only one thing missing.
No, I disagree.
Really?
I could think of other ones.
I totally guessed what it was.
Yeah,
I was sad I was right.
I would say what I was thinking was a possibility for the last class, but in saying that, I would also be saying what ends up not being the last class. Yeah. So you would disqualify.
So you'd eliminate it.
Yeah, but there's a couple of things. I think that there's additional class possibilities that they could add in the future. I'll say I have a couple ideas.
Mm-hmm. They could.
Yeah, because there's even one gameplay mechanic that gets used against you that you never get to use. Think of all the different type of enemies.
I know what you're saying. But they give you that option to do that with some items you can put in your pouch, but it's not your sole weapon.
Yeah, no, I would.
Talking cryptic, nobody knows what the hell you're saying now. We're trying to protect the sovereignty of the game. Yeah, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, and there was one that I mentioned. I thought it could be for the last one, and
that's
yeah. I know what weapon you're going to say. I would have preferred that, even though that the ammo would be mad limited.
So let me tell you the type of enemies that you're encountering, and I'll even say which one's my least favorite to fight. You have your standard riflemen that you fight, and these guys will they fire kind of like 3 successive shots, boom, boom, boom. So it's very common. I get lit by one, I'm getting lit by a second shot. You know what? Like this is one of those.
You can see the shots coming.
Yeah, you can duck and dodge them. This is one of those when things go bad, they go from bad to worse very fast.
Yeah, you don't have a boatload of health to start with, which you can, if you're lucky, find items that'll upgrade your overall health. So I mean, I had mine up to almost 40 the other day.
Dude, because I think you start at like what, 22 or something like that?
Yeah, 20 or 22.
And each time you pick up a health upgrade where you can max out your health, I think it increases it by 2. So, dude, that means that you must have gotten so many.
Well, you can also get those big hearts that you can crush. and it'll give you, I think, 4.
Okay. The hearts that I were picking up before, they were giving me 2. I would
And
go
then
from 22 to 24.
Occasionally, you can buy one.
From Jude. Yeah. Always worth it.
Or from one of those blessing temples. Yeah. It'll just be randomly tucked in a corner. Not meant to be easily found, but it'll be like, hey, for 200 gold, you can buy this. And I think it's more like 400 gold.
And when you get to low health in this game, the screen goes gray, and you know you're about to die, and that's when you're at 1 health. And then enough time goes by, your health is going to heal a little bit, back up to 5.
I just hide.
Yeah, I just hide and wait till it goes back up. But you'll stop healing, too. So it's not like if you sit there forever, you go back up to full health. You stay at whatever that initial bump back up was, back up to like 5 or whatever. But then you can heal back with other items by, finding these like health heals. But what ends up happening to me so often, if I don't have health restore items, I'm spending so much of each one of my lives in that bottom health stage of like, dude, I get hit once and I go gray and I have to hide. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
like you said earlier, when it goes bad, it really does go bad.
I lose my excess health reserve of every life very fast. I'm always on that 2-shot death part.
Dude, there was a level I was doing and I had 2 health packs. So I was like, this is great. I'm going to finish the game. And shit, within like 10 seconds, I had to use my first one. And before I got out of that level, I had used my last one.
It's like, man.
Because of my least favorite enemy, the Slender Man, I call him.
Oh, yeah, to keep describing. I actually got... I forgot I was doing that. Yeah, so you have that standard rifleman. You have an archer dude that'll shoot at you.
They're the best because their bows move. It's almost like the bullets are hard to dodge, so you'll see it and it's going to hit you in the head. But the archer, you can actually physically dodge his stuff, like with ease.
Yeah, I like fighting them. Then you have wolves, which are a pain because sometimes if you see them coming, they're like 1-shot kill, 2-shot with some guns, but usually about 1-shot kill. But sometimes they pop out of nowhere. Like there's times I'm playing, then they hear,
dude, they jump down off the top of the rocks and shit. Start bum rushing you.
Even the enemies will jump up and down and whatever.
Do the later rounds, like the harder rounds, when they'll chase you. It's like at level 1, you can pretty much hide, and they're not going to come for you. The later levels, like, I'm not saying later levels, but later characters, you hide. You're going to hear them walking. You're like, damn, he's actually coming for me. Going to come around the corner at you.
And then there's also like, these are my least favorite.
I already know what you're going to say.
The birds.
Yep.
They shoot. There's one character who have birds on his shoulder, and they go in the air, and then they freaking come at you. And dude, they do. I've died from the birds so many times.
Yeah, if I see birds, I make sure I got a full clip because that's how they. If you won, you're screwed.
Yep.
They just come around and.
Dude, I've ran out of my clip so many times shooting at birds, and they're flying at you, so it's easy to miss them while they're in motion. So those are my least favorite. And then there's like a Slenderman dude too.
Yeah.
You encountered him before me, and you kept encountering him, and I hadn't gotten him yet. And I'm like, I can't wait to see it. And as soon as I saw it, I knew exactly what you meant.
The second time I encountered him, the first time it was in the map. The second time I had put my hand on the podium, whatever, and collected my souls. And then I was going to walk to the door to open it. And the minute I put my hand on the thing and the souls collected, he comes walking out of the door at me. I'm like, holy shit, he's like right there in front of me. He's not a 1-shot kill guy. And then the next time he came at me was I opened the door. And I'm like, that's weird. It's getting all kind of red. And then he steps walks right out of the door. I just beeline it to the other side of the map, take cover so I can start shooting this guy.
That's one of those moments. If this game had co-op, we would have been in tears laughing.
Oh, yeah.
If this game had co-op, dude.
Oh, it'd be even better.
Because look, there's different classes. So
I don't see why they couldn't.
You could see the benefit of us each using a different class. And like, to me, the game run. Sometimes I'll play a game and go, I understand why they don't do co-op. It would be like Dead Second, where the bullets slow down. Right? I was like, I kind of see what's going on. This game, it feels like it's meant for co-op, in my opinion.
Yeah, I won't lie. I was a little disappointed that it was single player only.
Not that it's not still a good experience. obviously
it'd be a greater
4.6,
experience with someone, especially because, let's be honest, most of these runs, they're not short. It's
like a 40-minute.
it's going to take you a long time to go from start to finish.
Your first couple of runs are probably going to be 10 minutes, 15
But you know
minutes.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the better you get. So it's like, that's a long amount of time to spend.
The last couple classes, we were unlocking them in the first run as that class. Like you unlock them, whatever, the dual wield pistol. You got the assault class by the end of your first run with the dual wield pistols. You get better at the game, Yeah,
forcefully.
Yeah.
Just like the knowledge of the tarot cards and such.
Yeah.
Again, I'll go to my grave on the.
I don't think
unless I miss something.
I don't think they did the most in-depth tutorial. A lot of roguelites do this too.
Yeah, they throw you at it.
They go, you're going to learn by playing the game. Yeah.
Because you're going to be dying a million times anyways.
Well, and let's be real. If this game, not just this game, but a lot of these type of games, part of the replayability is discovering everything.
Yeah.
So if they did teach you everything right on the start, you're actually, as a developer, killing some of the replayability of your own game. As messed up as it is,
I get
the replayability is learning how to play, but like that is kind of it. Trial and error.
The just those magic cards and shit. Yeah. And then the magic wand they give.
Yeah, there's a spell wand too. We barely even touched on that. I don't use it much. That's a good way for me to die. Every time
a nice belt attachment for my character.
Yeah, I'll donate it.
Oh shit, I've never done that.
Well, why not?
I might have once because I think it's like a $600 donation, right?
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Okay.
But I was just being silly. Like, yeah, that's a good item to give away. That's like my former opinions on field decoy.
You know how greedy I am in this game?
What?
If I've got two sights, like one for my main gun, one for my pistol, and I find another sight, I'll throw something out of my backpack, my little inventory pouch, and keep it just to do it as a donation.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Because it's worth more than
a bomb or something like that.
Yeah, those are worth like 50. So it's like, if I get rid of 3 grenade bombs, whatever, each one, they actually have different varieties of them, but they're useless to me. I throw terrible with them for some reason.
I throw terrible with them, but I've gotten a very good amount of kills with them because sometimes you'll see 2 or 3 guys congregating together. And there was one time that really sticks out to me that I was like so proud of myself where there was 3 guys there and I threw 1 grenade and I missed. And I went, shit. And I had 1 more grenade and I took it and I threw it. And it killed 2 of them, and the third guy was so low health, I just went pop, pop, dead. I was like, dude, that was freaking awesome. It was a blind throw too. It was like
when I first started to do them, I thought you had to, my throwing hand's my right hand, so I thought I had to pick it up with my right hand and pull the bottom with my left to activate it.
You just pull the trigger.
Just pull the trigger. It does the same thing.
Yeah.
So that in my head, I'm questioning. I know I was holding it, and I know I would reach with my left hand to try to activate it, but was I really, when I did it, pulling the trigger with my right hand?
Probably psychologically, yeah.
Yep. Because I've done that in other games where I'll find myself really grinding on the middle finger trigger there.
The bottom grip one.
And be like, you don't even need it. What are you doing?
Oh, again, we talked about it on Monday, but I find myself doing that with walkabout. Like holding the grip on to
all
keep
the
it
time.
shut. Yeah. So it's totally possible that's what was happening.
I think that's what I did.
But the game is freaking fun, dude.
It's a lot more fun than I thought it would be.
We delayed our review by a week. I keep saying it. Not often we do that, but we're like, dude, we don't have every class unlocked.
No.
And it's not an easy game.
We had to.
It's definitely a trial and error. I like their description of hardcore roguelite.
Although with full disclosure, I mean, we wanted another week, but
we probably
if we had spent 1 more hour, we would have unlocked the last class.
Yeah,
anyways.
No, the whole last week has been
so
frosting.
We just spent
It's been frosting.
We've just been playing for a week. That's what it was.
But really fun gameplay mechanics, really fun kind of like lore everywhere. Kind of backtracking for a moment, but we mentioned the magic wand. That doesn't take up a full pouch spot either.
No,
it kind of goes like in between. Yeah. So that's
and there's different magic wands too. So different magic to
different
go with
spells.
Those wands. There's I was gonna say spells. There's cards that affect magic, not guns. The upgrades affect either guns or, like you said, money or lives or
lots of different types of scenery. You might be fighting in a cemetery, in a frosted area, in a forest.
Hell. Sewers.
Yeah, in sewers.
You get the rats too. Those are fun to kill.
So the game's a lot of fun. Yeah, I think honestly for a roguelite shooter, it very much so surpassed my expectations. I mean, they did a great job bringing in fun, replayable gameplay, but also incentivizing you to do it with the upgrades, with the unlocking the new classes think the only thing they could have added to sprinkle in replayability, I keep saying it, would have been co-op. Would have been really freaking cool.
Co-op would have been the icing on the cake. I don't even think it's being selfish in this case because, like you had said, some games you play and you're like, yeah, I'd love co-op, but I get it. You know, I can't make an argument for it. I just want it. Where this one,
this would be like a mother gunship forged to us. I could see it would take over our playtime if we could co-op it.
This one is so co-opable to me that when we first started playing it, I had to go back to the game store to read the
make sure that it wasn't. I did the same thing.
You sure there's no co-op for this because it just feels freaking co-op.
And again, that's not to say that the game. I don't know if did I not say the price in the beginning?
No, you didn't.
Oh my goodness, it's $24.99 on the store.
You might have.
That's not to say that it's not a good game for the money or anything like that. We're just saying in terms of making it even better, co-op is the one thing this game needs.
Yeah.
The gameplay itself is so fun.
And this, everything's opinion anyways, but the replayability of this game really comes down to co-op more than single player.
Because once you max out to me, the appeal is unlocking all the classes and beating a whole run.
And they do give you, besides the main mission, we should mention, they do give you another.
Kind of like a leaderboard type deal where you
so
try to see.
I see them grasping at the.
You have one life in that one. You have one life in that one.
One life, one run.
And it's a little different than the co-op or the main campaign. And you just try to see how far you can get.
And I know that's there strictly to keep you busy because
at some point.
You got every class. You've got every single upgrade. You've finished every class and every run.
But if it was co-op, I would run the same run that we've beaten. If we had beaten it 5 times, I would still go back and do it because it's just fun doing a co-op experience.
It's guaranteed never to, well, not guaranteed, but theoretically it won't really be the most, it's not going to be an identical run every time you play it.
And even, it's just different when it's co-op. You look at a game like After the Fall that has not the most amount of missions, and there's even a dedicated group that plays it. We'll see it in our Discord community.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. I'm happy After the Fall is continue to maintain that kind of like fever with the fans to want to keep going. And that's proof of how that works with co-op.
And so now imagine this game that is random each time too. So even if it's the same run, people have no problem playing the same After the Fall missions over and over again. I think this game would be such a hit co-op. It would be like, ooh. But as is, it's still freaking good. It's really good.
My juice woke up the podcast. Did you see that? He woke up with an alarm.
Like, what the hell was that?
How does that sound? Why are you doing it in my ear, bro? He's just being too nice.
Huge props to Funktronic Labs. For having a great developer name, and also for making Funktronic Labs. Funky. Also for making a great freaking game. So, do you have anything else that you want to say maybe about the gameplay or the way the game works that we didn't go over, or go right into our final thoughts and review?
It's a hot mess to describe. I'll tell you that.
You could hear me stumbling and going, oh my God, at what point do I say this? How do I get it all in?
Look, you're talking about collecting souls and all these different, it seems like a lot more coming out of the mouth than it actually is if you get in there and play it. It's not as hard to pick up on than it probably sounds.
And don't be surprised if your first play session of it, you don't go, I don't understand the hype. Go back into
I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I was like, all right,
I think it might have been King Canuck that said it on our Discord. It might have been. I'll double check that. I don't want to spread fake news or anything, but I think it was him. But I do remember in the Discord saying like, yeah, I didn't.
Somebody, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was King Canuck.
And I felt exactly like what they were saying.
As soon as I hopped into it, yeah. So I'll say that to anybody. If your first play session, you don't get it yet, it's normal. The roguelite.
I could see playing it your first time being like, all right, what's the point? Big deal.
Well, that's kind of how I left it. I went, cool game, cool gun mechanics. I'll give them that. But I didn't get it yet. I wasn't like, oh, where's the magic? But
it grows on you.
Oh my goodness! Then
for sure.
Yeah, and I think our scores will reflect that too. But so we'll take a moment, take a message from the sponsors. We got a new one this week with Mindway. I'm so excited to have them part of the Ruff Talk VR podcast sponsorship crew. Great meditation app for free to try on the MetaQuest store. They do have paid tiers if you fall in love with what you try, but go check them out. And
to be honest,
you couldn't stop at the free. No doubt. But we'll let people figure that out on their own. So we'll be back with you in just a moment. In the meantime, go check out our official podcast subreddit, Discord. You can find those links in our show notes, and also go pay a visit to our podcast Patreon. You can become an official supporter of the show. So we'll be back with you in just a moment. This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in MetaQuest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The MetaQuest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my two personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code Ruff Talk VR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered.
Hey everyone, sorry for the interruption, but we have a special public service announcement. Manscaped now has beard products and now a brand new nose and ear hair trimmer. If you haven't already heard, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming are traveling north of your South Pole with their revolutionary Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Plus, they've now launched the brand new Weed Whacker 2.0, which confirms they have all of your best tools for your hygiene toolbox. Time for you to upgrade your toolbox by going to manscaped.com and using our code RuffTalkVR for 20% off plus free shipping. Gentlemen, meet the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. It is the ultimate package that makes it easier than ever to craft your signature look. It all starts with the Beard Hedger. This thing is an elite beard trimmer. The Beard Hedger is tough on hair but smooth on your face, leading to single stroke efficiency that brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. This waterproof cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard. So no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. The Pro Kit also comes with 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for your post-trim care. This includes Manscaped's beard shampoo and conditioner, beard oil, and beard balm to moisturize, style, and shimmer your new beard. Plus, the kit has 3 free gifts: a beard brush, a comb, and scissors. With a nice beard, you think your face is perfectly groomed, right? Wrong. You need to keep an eye out for those tough-to-trim ear and nose hairs. The brand new Weed Whacker 2.0 offers improved blades and skin-safe technology with a no-tugging guarantee. It's never been so painless to mind your manholes. Now that you have your face looking great, you must try Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0 for the full body grooming experience. Good news though, the Performance Package 4.0 now comes with the Weed Whacker 2.0 and all of the other below-the-waist grooming products Manscaped is known for. Your significant other will be delighted to see you covering all bases, if you know what I mean. So get 20% off and free shipping with our code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code RuffTalkVR. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Hey everyone, we're excited to announce our newest sponsor of the Ruff Talk VR podcast, Mindway, a new immersive well-being app on the MetaQuest store. Not only is Mindway scientifically backed, they are so confident you will like what you try that it is free to try, with monthly, annual, and lifetime passes available for upgrades once you fall in love. Featuring meditation courses, build your own meditation options, daily mindful practices, a beautiful original soundtrack, and scientifically developed content, Mindway makes meditation easy with interactive sessions that will teach you how to meditate with an accredited mindfulness instructor, because the time commitment and learning curve shouldn't get in the way of good habits. Anytime in the past I've tried to personally meditate, I would always find my mind wandering and thinking, and I never felt like I received an actual benefit. Mindway changed all that. With beautiful environments, these guided meditation sessions are interactive, dynamic audio and visual experience, making it easier for you to learn to meditate regularly, even in a world of distractions and racing thoughts. Beyond their mindfulness meditation sessions, Mindway also offers VR ASMR experiences to help you unwind after a long day, and sleep sessions designed to help you fall or stay asleep. And they even have sessions specifically designed for managing anxiety and increasing focus. Be good to your mind. Experience Mindway. Visit the link in our show notes to find the app directly, or just go to the MetaQuest store and search Mindway. That's MINDWAY to start your meditation today.
And we are back. So you ready for the real struggle? We didn't do a review last week, so who the hell went first last time? I think I went first last time.
I'm going to say it was you.
That's both of our guts?
Because that was Paraspera.
I want to say I went first.
Okay.
So
I won't disagree with you.
I do have a score already written, so it's not because I'm just trying to stay consistent. I'm pretty sure it was.
I think you did your homework.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh no, dude, we didn't have time.
I'm just gonna write down whatever you write. You know.
I need another week.
Yeah.
Which whatever. Okay. The Light Brigade. I heard the hype. There was some excitement about it. I didn't get it until I guess I got into it and then got into it a little more. Yeah. But the overall gameplay, once I figured it out, I give it a 20. They brought their own unique element to a genre that, one could argue has, what more are you going to do? And they figured out a way to do it. The story lore it's kind of cool. Even when you die and they put up little sayings on the screen of some even deeper lore, makes you think or create your own picture of it. So I do give it a 20 in that. The statics, the guns are wicked detailed. The character model for the other Light Brigade soldiers you run into aren't bad. The enemies and background, one could argue, is not, so it's not getting a 20 out of me. I'll give it a 15. I could argue, though, that someone could be like, bro, that's a 10. But there are certain areas of the overall scheme of things that definitely aren't a 10. So a 15. Functionality, I had no glitches. It's not like you're dealing with 20 different enemies on the screen at the same time or any, so, but I didn't have any like, oh, I know I hit the person, or no, they shot me through a rock, or they shot me through a tree. I've, used a lot of low shelters, like little walls they have, and I'll squat down and, no shit, it's legit. You can even do the pop one peek and just put the gun up and shoot, and it actually works. So I give them a 20 in functionality. Current replayability, if you were like, hey, well, yeah, it's a 20. It's there, but the wall is coming, so it's actually a 15 for replayability to me. Other than like maybe wanting to get on a leaderboard or doing something, but the main nuts and bolts of it, although you could keep doing it because it is going to be different gameplay, without that co-op, the replayability is going to come to an end to me. So a 15. Value for money. You're probably going to disagree on this one with me. I actually give it a 15. $19.99, it's a 20 all day long to me. $24.99, I can't say it's justifiably a 20. So I'm going to say it's a 15. I wouldn't be upset or hurt if you gave it a 20 or someone else said, no, but I think the middle ground is
if you go visit the link in the episode description, that has the direct link to the game, I'll put a referral code link for it. So we got 25% off if you buy via that link.
See, that's perfect.
Now it's worth it. But that doesn't change it. That doesn't change your final score.
No. So for value for money, and I don't even think that's a crappy thing at a 15, but a 20, 15, 20, 15, 15 is an 85.
That's not bad at all. And we're going to be very...
No, if it was co-op, it'd be a 90. I hear I know it. Because the replayability would be as endless as like Mother Gunship.
No, it would actually be a 95 for you, because I guarantee you if there was co-op, you would be saying, well, it's worth $30.
You know what? You're right.
So that's actually two categories that would be affected by that,
Because, as much as we love Mother Gunship, I wouldn't...
Any game that's has 20 on...
replay it as much if it was single.
No.
And you'd hit that wall, you'd be like, even though the best runs I've had are single.
I feel that way about every roguelite.
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, having co-op will make you play more single player. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, occasionally. Depending on like the modes. But in fairness to the Light Brigade, okay, it literally just came out a couple weeks ago.
February 22nd. They've already had a couple updates.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know where they're going with it or what and I like, probably the best thing you said is we need to talk to them and have them on, because, one could hear this and be like, I might, it doesn't sound worth it. But then you might hear where the future of this is going and be like, now is when I want to get in on it so I can be part of all those. So for all we know, co-op's something they're working on. But to me, this game screams it, dude.
Yeah, it just feels like
it definitely would affect the score with replayability.
Yeah. So your total 85 though? That's not
85.
bad. So, and I totally get it, but I'll echo a lot of what you said. You know, gameplay was the easiest category for me. Clean 20. I think they knocked it out of the park. As somebody who roguelites usually aren't my favorite, man, I found myself hooked. I keep saying it. We delayed it a week. We liked it so much, you know, with different classes, upgrades, just so much skill. The game's hard. There's strategy, the way it all, you know, you have to be smart about your teleporting, getting placement, the way that you feel, not just your character, but yourself as the player improving, getting better. Great job on gameplay. Clean 20 there. I agree with you pretty much, you know, word for word about aesthetics. Is it bad? No. I could see somebody making an argument. Dude, I see a 10, but for me, it was a 15. The reason on that, you know, definitely not 20 out of 20 level graphics, but to me, there's more than just the quality, like the high resolution, whatever. Let me use Walkabout Mini Golf as an example. I would give Walkabout Mini Golf 15 out of 15 on aesthetics, even with that blocky type graphics, because it's the overall aesthetic vibe and theme that they're capturing. And in this game, you go into like the cemetery where it's foggy, or the forest, or one of the ice levels, and not just the character models and the graphical quality, they really nail it with the soundtrack when enemies are around, the soundtrack of the different environments, the overall textures and environment around you. So it's not the highest quality for a 20 out of 20, but there's enough that they do right with it that I feel comfortable giving it a 15 out of 15. I'm sorry, 15 out of 20 on aesthetics. So 15 for aesthetics. Replayability, go back, 5 minutes and listen to what you said, and that's what I'll say about replayability. It's going to be a 15 out of 20 for me on replayability. I think if there's a co-op, it would be 20 out of 20. I think the game, you're going to be hooked when you first start playing, or after, your first couple runs and you really start to figure it out. But you're going to be hooked until you get all the classes, until you upgrade your guy good, and then you beat that run. But then, like you said, you're going to hit a wall. It's inevitable. And I think something like co-op would prevent that. Does that wall happen in 2 hours? No. We played it for 2 weeks and still haven't hit that wall. So obviously it's replayable. But the wall does exist. So, replayability, I got to give it a 15. But simple addition of co-op sprinkle on top, I would give it a 25 out of 20 if I could. Functionality, I personally didn't have any glitches. Easy category to go with. 20 out of 20 on functionality. The game, I'll give them credit. They did a good job, in my opinion. I didn't encounter any bugs. So they did a good job, having it fleshed out, ready to go, high quality on day one of release. Good job to them. In value, we are going to disagree. That's fine, though. I agree. I actually, not that we disagree. We're going to have different scores. I totally understand where you're coming from at, 15 out of 20 for the price being $24.99. There's a little bit of a sticker shock at $24.99. Funny how that $5 makes such a big difference, because that wouldn't exist at all at $19.99. I agree as well. In the end, I love the game. Shit, I got 2 weeks of fun playtime with more to come. To me, for a guy that's not really huge on roguelites, especially single player, I got my money's worth out of it. And I would say if somebody was like, hey, I like shooters, I like roguelites, I'm looking for a fun single player game, boom. The Light Brigade you're going to have a blast with. If it was co-op, it would be even more of a no-brainer, but I still feel comfortable to give them 20 out of 20. But I totally get where you're coming from on it. But in the end, I went 20 on gameplay, 15 aesthetics, 15 replayability, 20 functionality, 20 value, total of 90 out of 100.
All right, so 85 and 90.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, I kind of thought that with the value, you were going to go 20 anyways.
Yeah, but I can totally understand what you mean, and I agree. At $19.99, because I had to think about value a little bit. I did think about it. And at $19.99, there would have been no thought. It would have been like, dude, worth it. Day one, Again, we'll have the referral code in the link down there. If it's the type of genre and game you like, it's going to be worth it, But I agree. Anytime we hit $25, me and you both get hesitant about that category. It's so funny. We're so spoiled in VR.
I was going to say, it's weak.
Yeah.
It's very weak.
Yeah, because you go look at a console, $60-$70. So we're spoiled. I get that. It's
still
just
get a pay-per-view, almost $100.
Yeah, right?
And you don't get to watch it again.
You don't own it,
Yeah.
So in my opinion, I'm giving you a 20 out of 20 because I believed in my heart of hearts I got $25 worth of playtime and enjoyment out of it. But definitely, save some money with that referral code too, right? So, great game. Adding co-op to it would make it 25 on both of our ratings. overnight.
25.
So, I'm sorry. Would make it a 95. It would make it a 95. Yeah, no, I said that because I was joking about 25 out of 20 on replayability before.
In fairness, it's new. And
couple weeks. Come on. Less than a month.
I mean, if you looked at freaking Gods of Gravity 2 months ago, they didn't have co-op.
No.
And now they do today. So until we know for sure, but only they can. Even if they lie to us, I'm cool with that.
Hey, I'll say as is. As it came out on February 22nd, I feel confident giving it a 90 out of 100. And you give it an 85 out of 100, that's not bad scores at all. This is a great game. Another one of the highlights of 2023's releases. This year is insane.
So far, it's been good, like real good. Yeah. But I think the consumer demand for quality is also better than it was 2 years ago. And the expectations for current VR users.
You know, if this game came out when we first bought our Quest, it would be listed as like the greatest VR game ever. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? Like the standards are going up. And now, you know, you keep referencing it. You know, we got Ghostbusters later this year. We got Gambit, which I'm so excited about.
How many DLCs is Walkabout going to drop this year?
Oh, dude, I'm so excited. There's going to be a good year. We got a new headset coming next year or later this year.
Yeah.
Dude.
This is good times.
Good times. VR is about to get hot. All right. Fun stuff this week. As always, if you enjoyed it, you know, subscribe, rate us 5 stars. That helps us a lot. Gets our episodes ASAP for you too. You know, go check out our podcast communities of our Discord, our Patreon server. Go become a member there. It's a lot of fun. And then go check out Mindway too. You know, obviously go check out Manscaped too. They're a longtime sponsor. Keep your face, keep your balls. It's good for men and women too. You don't have to be a dude to use Manscaped. It's just marketing. But even on their page, they say, hey, for everybody.
There are a lot of females
that use Manscaped. Yes.
Yeah, and are actually advertising it. So
yeah, a lot of female podcasts are sponsored by Manscaped. So men and women, you know, go check out Manscaped, but also go check out our new sponsor, Mindway. Like I said, we'll have the link to that in our show notes, but you can also find it for free on the Quest store and then fall in love, you know, tell them Ruff Talk sent you and go get mindful.
Happy meditation.
Right. So other than that, check you out next week and ciao, ciao.